Hi, it's David, and this video is for the Leader Coach Catalyst. For you, to help you create that success, to change the world in the ways that you envision for the better. But also, in this video in particular, to make sure in the process of doing that, that you're finding the meaning and satisfaction that you hope that those accomplishments will bring you. Have you ever had one of those moments in life when you just became more reflective, where perhaps something changed or either outside in your world or for you that just caused you to pause and think about things more? Well, in May of 2017, my dad died a peaceful death after living a full life. And then 18 months later, on Thanksgiving Eve, my mom also passed. Again, after living a full life, but still, those losses to me really caused me to step back and just reflect on my life, to assess a lot of things. And one of the things that I started to focus on was just how am I evaluating or measuring my success in life? And what I realized upon that reflection was that even though I was raised by my parents and they were obviously the most important people in my life, especially early in my life, that I think I had probably veered a bit from some of the things that they taught me through their actions. And that's okay, we all take our own path. But some of the things, I thought, I don't want to lose track of these. And in particular, I was looking at how do I measure my success mostly in work. And I realized that probably because of my work history, I started in sales, got my MBA, then was a general manager of a turnaround business, and then began this work and helped many clients turn their businesses around. Often the measure that I was using and they were using was on growth, on revenue growth. And I started to recognize that without realizing it, my own measure of success had become disproportionately high on revenue. And fortunately I'd had success there, and it was meaningful. I need to put food on my own table and support a number of other people, but it seemed to have fallen out of proportion or dropped into a new balance that didn't necessarily reflect the way I wanted it to. So I started to ask myself, well, if it's not that it's not at all about making money, but if it's not that as much as it used to be, what would it be? And I walked away with some new ideas that I'm going to share with you. And I don't share them with you because I think you should take them on for yourselves. We're all individuals. We all get to make our own choices. But I just thought sharing with you where I landed might be useful in case now is one of those times of reflection for you, or now might be a good time for you to reflect. I walked away with 4 different measures of how I now measure my own success. And I have to say that I'm really glad I have adopted these. The first is they're all questions. Am I having an impact is the first. To me, impact is, am I making the positive difference in people and in what matters to them so that it's deeply meaningful for them? Are they finding in the process that they are greater humans, liberating the best of them than they had before? And so not only accomplishing the things outside, but they're having that impact, and I'm having that impact, helping have that impact through them that is meaningful and satisfying to them. So am I having an impact? The second is so important, which is, am I having fun? Work can be work if you want it to be. Life can be hard if you let it be. And sometimes life is hard. But am I finding the joy, the lightness, the fun things in the process of what I'm doing? Or am I making achieving success just drudgery? So am I having fun became the second. The third then is, am I being authentic? Remarkably, I think all of us feel best when we're being authentic, and it's one of the hardest things to do, because what if I show you who I really am and you don't like it? That won't be so fun. Really, even in my clients, I find the most successful people are often holding some part of themselves back because, or whatever their reason is. Often I do think it's you might not like me, I might not be able to achieve what I want if I actually show you all of myself. And so, can I be authentic? And can my words and pictures and actions be consistent with each other? And so that's another one. Am I being authentic? And the fourth then became, am I fully expressed? Am I playing full out? Am I not holding back, but just putting it out there? As they say in sports, did you leave it all on the field? So leaving it all on the field to be of service to my clients and the people I love in my life, but without holding anything back. And so as I thought through those and reflected those, I realized, yeah, that's really more in line with how I want to measure my own success. And from that time forward, I have followed that, and I ask myself that question quite often, or those 4 questions quite often. And little by little, it's shifted how I approach things, how I approach people. I think I was headed in that direction already, but when you're conscious of it and when you put it in front of yourself all the time, like I'm doing and like I encourage you to do, I think it just puts an exclamation point. It amplifies those things that we value the most. Because I think we're all influenced by the world around us. And I don't think those 4 measures are the messages that I get from the world at large about what success is. And it's really easy to get pulled in a direction that we may not have intended to, but it's still having an effect on us. So by naming those for myself and keeping them in front of myself on a regular basis, I'm finding that I'm just living better, and I'm just generally happier, lighter, and having more success. And it hasn't had any negative effect on that old measure, which still stands, which is, revenue. I need to make a living. So I share these with you, as I said, not to tell you you should take this on, any of what I've said on for yourself, but I would invite you to ask, is now a good time for me to reflect on whether it's what is success, what do I want from my life, what is meaning? If you look at the way I'm evaluating mine, they're what in psychology they would call intrinsic motivators, the things within me. It's not how much money am I making? Do I have a bigger car than my neighbor? Have I gotten the promotions? Do I have the titles? Anything like that. They're all intrinsic. Now, it's not that extrinsic motivators can't be useful, but we're going to find our satisfaction from the more intrinsic things, like the 4 questions I asked. So maybe now is the time for you to assess without having to lose someone important in your life. The opportunity is always there, but there are moments that just seem more ripe for the reflection. And if this video is finding you at one of those places, I hope it's helped you. If it's finding you at a place where you're kind of wandering or not quite sure or feeling just some agita and not quite sure why, maybe it would be a good time to reflect. You'll know what's best for you. And I hope that what I've shared with you here gives you a stepping off point and maybe a little bit of direction as you go. I would really love to hear how this video has landed with you, how you've used it, if you have, what the outcomes have been, and the benefits of the outcome will take time to unfold. So don't expect an immediate, boom, everything's different now, even if you do this and you do it with great, depth and sincerity. And I'd also, as always, love to hear, how is this video working, and how can I make this and future ones better for you? So I'd love to hear just anything that landed about what the reflections that came up are, and tell me about how to make these videos better. Thanks for letting me share this, and I'll see you in the next video.